All right, guys, this is my hot tub wiring video. So this is how I'm wiring my hot tub. I have a 50 amp hot tub that I'm wiring, and here's how I'm doing it. So here's my electrical panel. I'm in my basement actually. I just ran this wire. This is actually a Romex. You can see here it's a Romex 6-3 wire, and I just ran it. It's actually coming in through here, and it comes out. Goes up here, and then it goes all the way up into my attic, and then it's going to go through my attic down to the outside where it's going to hit the spa panel, and then from the spa panel we're going to run the THHN wires through conduit. So this is how I'm wiring it at the panel, and what I had here was I actually had a breaker here, a 30 amp, a 240 30 amp breaker that was already here for a dryer in my panel. And we don't have a electrical dryer. We have a gas dryer, so we never used this breaker. So I actually just took this breaker out, pulled the wire up. Actually, here's the wire here for my dryer. So I'm just not even going to leave that connected. I'm just going to coil that up, leave it up in the ceiling. If we ever need to reconnect it, we can. I could have done like on this one here. I've got two 240 outlets. This is a quad pole breaker. I could have done that here with the dryer, but I just figured I'd just take that out because I already had a 50 amp breaker. So I have my 50 amp breaker here. That's going to slot in right there. And I just need to cut back the sheathing on this Romex. The red and the black wire go into the breaker here. And then my neutral wire is going to go into my neutral bar right here. And then the bare copper wire is going to go into my ground bar right here. And then I'm going to run that to my spa panel. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward once you can find space in your panel. That was my challenge, is every spot's taken up in my panel. All right, I have my red and black into my breaker here, my white into the neutral, copper into the ground. I've got my breaker off. Now I've got to run. So here's my wire here. Now the hard part is just running it through the attic and then down the outside wall, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, guys, here's the outside of my house. My electrical room that I was just in is down those stairs and on the other side of the house. So I'm running the wire all the way over to here because I have my conduit right there. So here's what I'm doing is I've got the wire up into the attic. I just have to run it across the attic and over. And if you can see here, I already have my conduit already run. And the conduit goes from here all the way to right there. It's about 35 or so feet to there. But what I'm doing on the outside of the wall, I'm going to run the Romex 6-3 wire to the top of the wall, to the top in the attic here. It's going to go in. I'm going to screw into the top plate and run the wire down inside the wall. Back here is my garage, but it is insulated, and it's going to hook into. This is just my my spa kit. This is just a spa disconnect line. I got this at Lowe's, but you can get this. It's just a 50 amp hot tub or spa pack. And the reason why you want to use one of these is because it already has the neutral wire in there, so it's GFCI protected, which is what you want when it comes to these type of applications. So we've already got we just put our hot lead there, our neutral wire here, our ground there going out. I'll show you how we wire that up once we get it, but it's going to be on the wall right here, and then the Romex is going to come in through the inside of the wall and then into the back of this. And then from this, I have conduit coming down from this box, connecting back into that conduit there, and then from this box to the hot tub, we're going to run the 6-gauge THWN wire, the individual wires. I'm in the attic here. I'm right above the garage. Here where I'm at. Okay, this is the very far corner of the garage. Actually, I drilled too close and I came out right at the ceiling. So I drilled here. Here's my patio soffit right here. So I just went through that hole there, and then that little drywall opening that I had was actually enough to get it to get this cable down through and be able to pull it out. I didn't have to use any glow rods or anything to really fish it out, so it just went straight down. There's even insulation in that wall, so that was even more helpful. All right, I'm gonna get back down to the attic and we'll start getting this wired into the spa box. All right, I'm out of the attic. This was the hole that I cut in the wall that before I went up into the attic so that I could pull the wire through there. And you can see the little hole up there that I drilled. I missed the top plate and I drilled the second hole, which got inside the wall. Luckily that wire pushed through the wall really easily, even though there's insulation. The weird thing is there's a stud on either side of this, so it's kind of a small cavity, and there was no fire blocking, which was nice. So it was just a straight shot all the way down. I was able to pull that out. I had 125 feet of this, and I've got probably 25 feet or so in excess. So here's the other side of the wall. I'm going to put my spa panel right there, and then I'll be able to run the wire down through the conduit here. And I can cut this conduit to length. So now I just need to figure out exactly where to drill through the wall so that I can make this conduit try to make it as level and plumb as possible. All right, I had to make my hole a little bit bigger. This clamp here, this clamp goes into the box, the spa panel, and then it goes into the box like this. And this clamps down the wire so the wire's not pulled out. So I needed the hole big enough so that it could accommodate this, so this could sit recessed into the wall like that. And I can just seal that up with some sealing clay, or I'm gonna do some foam. Use some foam insulation, so it's gonna sit like that. Came through. All right, we can just remove the breaker here. The breaker you can just lift out. So we're just gonna move that out of the way so we can get this installed. My wire clamp on the back end kind of test fit it here. Yeah, that'll fit good right there. Okay, this is the bottom of the spa panel, and I'm knocking it out. I'm actually knocking out both sides because I'm using the 1 1/4 inch conduit, and so I need the 1 1/4 inch male adapter that's going to go through, and I'm going to have a locking nut on the inside. So I got to knock this out so this will fit up in there. All right, that fits good. And then in conjunction with this, you just want to get the 1 1/4 inch locking ring that's going to go on the inside of the box here. All right, my conduit is now opened up, and I ran my fish tape. This is just a 50-foot steel fish tape. I ran it down through the conduit over to here. It came through very smoothly, so then I can just pull the end of it out. Now I'm gonna get my wire ready. All four conductors, I'm gonna get those kind of wrapped together, hook it on the end here. I'm gonna be able to pull that through. All right, all 4 wires are now taped around this end of this fish tape. I'm gonna use the fish tape to pull it through, and we'll see how easily it slides through the conduit. All right, it's helpful to have a helper to be able to push the wires through, keep them together as they're going through the conduit. So you have one pushing through, and then the other one pulling on the other side. All right, after a few minutes of pushing and pulling here, we got our wire out of the conduit. And we need it to go about right there. My Romex is now, I pushed it out through the wall from the other side, and I'm ready to insert it into the back of the spa box and then clamp the wire down and start making the connections. I have my conduit glued into place, and I've got, this is my black one, here's my Romex coming in from the wall, and then here's my 4 connectors that are going to the hot tub. And so now I just need to, I'm going to secure this to the wall with these kind of masonry bits. This is it's going into stucco, so I just need to level it, get it screwed into the wall and secured. And this sealing clay, it's just going to go around inside the hole around this connector here, just to seal that area up. With our spa panel, our box all mounted up to the wall, it's all sealed off. Now we're ready to terminate all the wires. And first we're going to do the one from the wall, which is our Romex coming from the house. So I'm just going to very carefully score the insulation on the wire. All right, so this is the 6'3" Romex. See, we have 3 6-gauge wires, black and red. Those are our two hot leads. Our white is our neutral, and the one in the brown paper here is the bare copper wire. All right, so our 2 hot leads are going to go into here. The black and the red, doesn't matter which one, they're both hot. So we just need to, we're going to figure out how the red's going to go like that. Now the black loop around this other side. And then our white's going to terminate. This is the neutral bar right here. I can go either on the top or the bottom. I'm going to terminate right here on the bottom because that's obviously going to be the easiest access point with this wire coming right up into there. I'm going to get my red and my black cut to length and get those seated down in. I made sure I have my breaker off. There's no... So I'm just going to loosen the lug up here. Sometimes these 6-gauge wires take a little effort to get into. Got to bend them using a needle nose plier. That worked out good. Okay, I'm gonna. These are 2 hot leads. Each have 120 volts, equaling 240. This one won't be as hard to cut because this is only probably a 14 or 12 gauge wire that's going right here to the grounding bar. Alright, so all the wires are terminated that are coming from the panel. Now we just need to connect the wires that are going to the spa, which are these 4 wires. Ground just going to the ground bar. Okay, ground's there. Alright, these spa hot tub breakers, they actually already have the neutral wired into the breaker, so the neutral will go here in the middle, and then the red and the black right into the hot leads. So we're just... Alright, so this is all wired now. Now I can put, there's like a cover panel that goes on this. I can do that. Shut this down and then get my flexible conduit ready. Okay. Alright, got our set screw in here, breakers off. This is all complete now. So we're all set to go with that. All right, on the other end of my conduit here, here's where this conduit comes up out of the ground, meets this weatherproof junction box, and these 6-gauge wires actually just come up, loop around, go straight into this flexible conduit, which I have about 15 feet of, and then just the excess is hanging out there. So I did this. I needed something for this flexible conduit to connect into, so that's why I'm using this. This has a just screws on. It's got like a foam gasket, so it's a weather tight. So there's no connections or terminations inside this box. It's really just the wire coming up through here and then making a right angle down into the flexible conduit. And this is only the hot tub's going to be right here, so it is pretty close to it. So that's why I had to have the junction box on the other side of the wall, about 30 feet away, because the disconnect needs to be at least 5 feet away from the tub, and so that's kind of how we're running it here. So that's kind of the final part of the wiring. The hot tub company that delivers it will deliver and connect the flexible conduit, and then my 4 wires here to the hot tub directly, so I don't have to worry about that. So anyways, guys, hopefully you found that helpful, informative, or entertaining. Leave your comments down below if there's anything I should have done or looked at, or any other insights as of this job. But thanks for watching the video. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.